with Evan Centopani and his father, Victor. First of all, Victor, what did you think when Evan first started messing around with weights back when he was a teenager? Did you ever think it was going to be something he would continue and take to this level?
He started out kind of on the wrong track with losing weight and trying to build muscle at the same time, and then he finally figured out that I guess he was going in two directions at once there. Oh, it took off pretty good. He figured it out pretty much on his own. I mean, he basically taught himself, which is pretty good. It's a hard thing to figure out, but he did it. I mean, I don't know if anybody's come that far that quick. It's amazing, really.
Did you ever see this as something he would be able to make a living at the way he has?
I never thought about it, but I have to believe it. It happened.
Yeah. At this point,
pro and amateur.
Pro and amateur.
Yeah.
He's obviously won almost everything he's ever entered.
Yes.
So yes. I mean, what was it like at the Arnold last year when finally he wasn't the winner? Was it tough to see him not have his hand raised in victory as you've seen him done so many times before?
Well, now the complete top. There's probably only one more notch to go after this. So the competition is fierce. I mean, everybody works hard though in the whole sport. I mean, everybody kind of deserves their place there. I mean, everybody puts a lot into it. It's hard to say that it's hard to choose one person over the other. You can't shortchange anybody, I don't think. There's a lot of, it's a real dedicated sport, and it's a fine line. It sure seems to be a fine line with who comes in first and who comes in second.
Has it been sort of like a learning curve for competing in them, or did you?
No.
So you sort of learned about how the sport works and what they're looking for by watching him.
I had in the beginning I wasn't sure, but as we went to a few shows, then I figured out what they were looking for. I'm not a judge. I mean, I don't have. I mean, you got to be dedicated.
Evan, are these shirts specially made for you?
No, I can't say they are. Anybody can purchase them.
The other guys, I guess they do. I don't know. I gotta figure that they do. But what I see with him, I don't know. Can't be too many people with that kind of dedication. Can't be. I mean, the training and the discipline, I mean, he doesn't stray at all.
Everyone's got these kind of values and work ethic and discipline. They don't come out of thin air. They come from your upbringing. So aside from the physical things your dad passed down to you, what are some of the things that he passed on to you growing up that you think are helping you be successful in your career today as an adult?
Well, possibly be at it. To be as educated on the subject as you can be. To be, to know everything there is to know about it inside and out, and to be as good as you could possibly be at it. Not just I do this, from about it. Let go.
If Planet Fitness would have just kicked you right out.
In his line of work, or things that we would do, say, around the house, whether it was fixing something, or fixing something on the car, or fixing something in the house, or anything really, it was always do it as good as you could do it. You could do a half-assed job, or you could do a good job. Why do a half-assed job? So it's, do it right, or don't bother doing it.
I mean, I think for anybody, no matter what you do, if you like satisfaction, you know, the byproduct is you may make a living at it. Hopefully you make a living at it. But you do it for you. Then there's never any disappointment. I mean, you're not going to be in a sport and expect to win everything all the time. It may not be the best at the sport, but you're not going to walk away disappointed because you're doing it for you. You're not doing it really for anybody else. And that's the way you got to look at it. I mean, you're not going to be disappointed if you're doing it for yourself. You'll never be disappointed. If that's what you want to do, truly, and you do it, you may end up moving on to something else later on. But you've been there, you did that, and you did it, you know, for yourself, and that's what matters. You're not doing it for anybody else. That's the way I see it. I mean, that's what works for me. You know.
Now you watched, obviously you watched Evan from the very beginning, like in the upper, you know, 1,000% of anyone that ever picks up a weight will eventually look like this. At what point did he get so big that you said, wow, I can't believe this is my son and that he's built this physique?
It was, I mean, I grew, you look at the second show and you look at the third show, and then, you know, you don't really realize until you get to the fourth or fifth show. When you look back, you say, my God, you know, then you've got something to compare to. It's like looking at somebody, you know, when you got a baby, grows every day, you don't notice the difference. But somebody walks in a month later, you know, you got something to compare. There's, you know, you can see the difference then. You know, it just kind of progressed. You don't really, like, you see it, but you really don't realize, you know, going from the first show to the fifth.
Probably say to himself, wow, shit, look at the size of that guy. I remember, like, the New York Pro, when I was, you know, competing against, say, Marcus Rule and Dennis James, you know, two of the bigger bodybuilders. And I remember even Erica saying the same thing, because I know she, you know, same thing for her. She said, I think it's tough to ask someone who, you know, knows me that well. I think the more you know somebody, it's something you don't even really notice about them anymore. I think maybe to some degree.
I mean, you need a trained eye. I don't have the trained eye for that. I can't just sit there and say, oh, my son should win because he's my son.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've tried to understand. I mean, he's dedicated. I think with a lot of guys, they're in it for a while and then they hang it up. You know, you don't see them. They come in, they go out as fast as they come in, and that's the way with a lot of businesses or whatever. You know, the people that stay along steady seem to make it all the way. Not the guys that come in quick and go out quick. But he's got the dedication. I mean, the understanding of nutrition, you know, all that plays a part in it. I don't know if everybody has that. You got to look at yourself individually. I mean, you can't just say, well, I'm just another bodybuilder. No, he got genetics play a part, which some people can't do anything about, no matter how hard you work. He understands nutrition. He understands how your body functions. I mean, a lot of these guys maybe don't know that. So you can't just say you're just another guy. You know, that's what's going to set him